wasn't a lucky play. That was just good football.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the
This is a special presentation of EA Sports from the Coliseum in Oakland. One time for old times. What do you say we play some football as we are underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first. And, Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL, and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice, because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. AFC going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now. Back deep, 2-time Pro Bowler Dante Hall. Take it at the 37. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be a short field ahead as the AFC takes over 1st and 10. So, Charles, has... Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in a conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36, 16, and 2. That's pretty incredible. His Raiders were a factor each and every year.
And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Marcus Allen, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the AFC has taken the early lead. Well, you got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And Hester content to hold on to this one and bring it out to the 25. The NFC offense coming out here. And you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game and he had to pick a quarterback, he would pick Kenny Stabler. But I think if you... Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Rod Woodson with a pick. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and an AFC touchdown. Well, Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Hester going to decide against a return, and they will spot this at the 25. Now the NFC heading back out. Hall of Famer Randy Moss, a part of this offense. And Coach Madden, boy, he always appreciated the ferociousness with which number 84 attacked the football in the air.
As Randy Moss says, just chunk it up to...
Tries for Rice, intercepted. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3-4 quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And, you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative. And this is going to be intercepted. The Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott picks it. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on first and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, it's going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on fourth down. The first three, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. First and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp, actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles, you and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles.
The NFC with the football here to begin the second quarter. Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now on to punt. And this returnable for Hill. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded. Would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, 1967, Brandon, Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date for the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride he, the Raiders, and the NFL were about to go on.
Tom Brady flashing the mobility, scrambling there for a first down. Charles, you talked about John Madden and the Raiders going on a ride. Well, try these numbers on for size. In 10 seasons as a head coach, the Raiders won their division 7 times. They finished second the other 3 times, and he became the youngest coach to amass 100 career regular season victories and is still, to this day, the franchise leader in wins.
And when you think about it, that's where that rivalry with Kansas City really took root, as did the expression commitment to excellence. And boy, was it personified by the players who played for Coach Madden. On offense, how about quarterback Kenny Stabler, wide receiver Cliff Branch, wide receiver Fred Biletnikoff, tight end Dave Casper, to name a few. How about those great linemen he had? Center Jim Otto, guard Gene Upshaw, tackle Art Shell, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And guys on the defensive side of the ball, the Mad Stork himself, Ted Hendricks, Willie Brown, John Matuzak, Otis Sistrunk, and Big Ben Davidson. So many great players, so many great memories.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Tim Brown, a 12-yard touchdown grab, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Hello, Tim Brown found the end zone for 100 receiving touchdowns on the nose during his 17-year career. But think about how he got to those 100. Strong physically, studied the heck out of the game, superior route runner, and then when he caught the football, he turned into a running back, broke a ton of tackles in order to get those 100 touchdowns.
So those 100 touchdowns led him to 9 Pro Bowl appearances. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And Hester content to hold on to this one and bring it out to the 25. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Favre's throw here hauled in by Kupp. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And they go play action with Favre. Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. Now they got to get to the line quickly. From the shotgun, it's Favre. Under pressure, they got him again. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. And this offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Here's Hill on the return. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And this is caught. It's Brown. Well, coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
and they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Here comes Devin Hester bringing it out. And he returns this to the 22. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. Holding offense.
The NFC punt team out there now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Watch out for Hill on the return. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. On play action, it's Brady. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown! The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And the AFC just continues to pour it on. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game. Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.